for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5 or shop number 3 James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
It's now time for Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk. Call us and let us have a discussion. All right. It's greetings and salutations, and welcome to another week here on the Sports Desk. The name is Orville.
Good afternoon to the wonderful listeners here. Hope for a wonderful day of sporting discussion and a wonderful week as well.
All right, so I made a few calls just when I was coming down this morning, trying to find out the very latest in that case with Mount Pleasant and the charges leveled against them by Cavalry. I understand that the official news has not hit the media yet, but from what I'm gathering, it appears that Mount Pleasant will escape major sanctions for the use of the players involved. My understanding is that they will not lose any points and they will not be sanctioned for the offense as called out by Cavalry. What I'm understanding is that they could pay a fine for a separate infringement. An infringement that I didn't even know was an infringement. But my understanding is that they had too many players on the bench, too many overseas-based players on the bench in a particular game. I can't remember which game. My understanding is that the rule is that you cannot have more than 6 overseas-based players on the bench at any given time. And I think Mount Pleasant had 7. So that they will be sanctioned for, based on my understanding. But they will get away scot-free from what Cavalier had brought against them, which is players playing in 2 competitions in the same window. So whatever the committee looked at, it appears that Mount Pleasant convinced them that they did. Which doesn't affect the point standings, doesn't affect their placings in the point standings. And therefore it should be business as usual going into the knockout stages of the play. All right?
And that playoff start, listeners, I think it's just Thursday. The fact that they went into the games on Sunday without doing anything, I believe that nothing would have happened.
Without doing anything?
Yeah, without any points being taken away.
Oh.
So the fact that they went into the final day and we didn't hear any news about points being lost, I had a strong doubt that that's what I would have heard this morning.
All right, so that's not yet official, but my sources are telling me that is what the situation is.
All right, Asta, you ready for us yet?
Yeah, a very vibrant looking Asta says we get the first.
Hello.
Predictably number 1.
Good afternoon, Monsieur.
I wonder if I was born to be the first caller.
No, when I work, you work your strategy, man.
Yeah, but Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, man.
Me upset with you, man, because me say me go inside and come back. You have to sign me autograph and you're gone, man.
Well, you need to tell the people what happened.
Yeah, man, Mr. Higgins passed through one of the location. I don't know me the security work. Mr. Higgins passed through one of the location when me there yesterday.
Yeah.
And me and him talk for a minute and me just go inside and come back. Come back out, the man no gone. Mr. Higgins, what kind of thing that man, you know, sign me autograph, man.
No matter with that, man. No matter with that. Good to see you, though.
Yeah, man, good to see you there, though.
Yeah.
Yes. You realize that CC done this talent argument, though. Both man, the born with talent.
Him done?
Yeah, man, CC done the argument, man, because if Michael Jordan is not a talented basketballer, I can't ban with it.
Well, Friday was one of the weirdest days for the show.
That one was very strange by CC, man.
Zidane, he can't ban with it, Zidane, if he is not it.
Yes.
He can't ban with it. But
there is no such thing as basketball talent. There's such a thing as basketball skill.
Yes, and Michael Jordan is not a talented basketballer.
No. I'm wondering out of that and the bowler feeling at Silimida. Which is worse?
No, well, at least do I chat to say no what is Silimida. So.
There you go.
So, but I heard Bishop have this thing about God and sports. So I want to talk about God and sports today. And I hope QC is listening. No, Zidane, there's one thing that a lot of people accept about God. That God give us minds to choose whatever we want to do in our life.
Yes.
We have a mind of our own to basically choose the things that we want to do. And if you notice in life, Zidane and Mr. Matthews, that basically, well, for Cuba, most doctors, a lot of doctors come from Cuba. The sporting events, the Brazilians of the world, Argentinas, whether you put it tennis, China. If you realize that most of the countries that do well in any sport at all is the ones where the nations basically crazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
The nation and all.
Yes.
No, if what I'm trying to say is, if we are born to be a basketballer or born to be a footballer, why generally speaking are the countries where crazy about it do well? Why we can't have them? For example, even if you say reggae music, Mr. Higgins mentioned reggae music. If people born with this talent, why we can't find reggae music in China and reggae music in some other countries or even other things in life?
Here's the answer to that. God knows which country you will be born. And he gave you the talent based on your geography. So if you're born in China, God going to give you table tennis talent at birth. If you're born in Argentina, you'll get football talent. If you're born in Barbados, you'll get fast bowling talent. That's how God worked the thing. You know?
Oh, so God choose the country first and then choose the individual.
Yeah, in figure out where you're going born. So your mother and your father are Jamaican, and him not give you no table tennis nor hockey talent. Him give you track and field, him give you sprinting talent.
All right. So if God give you that talent, Mr. Higgins and Mr. Matthews, and he give you a figure out this country, and he also give you a mind to choose.
No, you don't realize the sarcasm, you know. Clearly.
Yeah. True. No, me understand the sarcasm.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying to you now. That clearly now it would contradict the thing about people, about the mind. I'm talking about the mind itself. What God give us now. So if God give us the talent now and said, okay, you know what, you need to go play table tennis in China. You know, in your mind can't choose football, you know.
A table tennis talent you get.
A table tennis talent you get. And the mind what God give you now, it is not a mind of choice in absolute again, you know. Because there is something that you definitely have to do, you know. And if there's something that you have to do, Mr. Higgins, then the mind, that thing about the mind, we have to start questioning the mind now, you know.
Talk to QC, them and the man, I said. Your band can bat and band can play football.
I mean, Diego said something the other day. Say, it is not something that can be proven either way. But while it's not something that can be proven either way, because as we say, because we know that we have a mind of our own, I think it is reasonable to think man don't born with it more than born with it. Because everything that you do in a life, everything that you do in a life is a choice that you're making.
True.
Yes.
Everything and when Messi go up on the field, Zidane, in not choosing he go since he dribble left or right.
Yes. And choose when to pass.
And choose when
to run into that particular space.
To pass.
Yes. I went to fetch. I went to move into the space.
I went to move into space, and then you say you always say it about from Lico Youth. So now when you practice from Lico Youth, now that's something in your mind now, Zidane.
Yeah, man. What QC sing is the end product, and I think the man born for be this good. That's what happened, boss. You never see when Messi a 8-year-old and a little boy in Argentina dribble from them time, man.
Exactly. So I think I'm so this is a sports program. Miss Higgins, so this is a sports program. But if we really look into it, everything else, well, yes, you mentioned the running thing, but most of the things in our life, you have to practice to be a doctor, you have to practice to be a teacher, you have to practice to be basically most things.
Yep.
So these people, I think that I am 100% with you on that. But Zidane, the basketball now.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the basketball. I don't want to talk about the basketball. I talk about what I did talk about for the weekend. You realize that Odegaard might be out. Me did I tell about?
That would be a good thing.
See Odegaard out.
That man not playing anything, my boss. That me not like see Odegaard on the field anymore. It's that frustrating.
Zidane, you were always what me see a couple times that they tell him about Odegaard in your midfield. Are you
not this season? Not this season, my boss. The man I'm telling you, since he came back from that early season injury, my boss, the man looks him still keep the ball nice in him, still hold possession well, but in terms of the him just doing the regular things, my boss. Nothing special from Martin Odegaard. We can't get no goals from him. Nothing, my boss. When the ball come back on top of the 18-yard box for him, don't expect anything special.
Explain to the people, Zidane, why you think Arteta no blunder for the side where I'm pick Saturday.
Why am I blunder?
You can say it, you tell me about the man no blunder. Remember that you tell me,
No, man.
You tell us a nonsense man doing Zidane, and you say no,
No, so why you saying blunder? We don't play Saturday, Wednesday every time. Not let them practice.
No, but you have an important Champions League.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that the under 23 them.
No, man, I foolish to say that. That's not nothing for you to do about Wednesday.
You mean Zidane? Then that's what I say.
Boss, Arsenal did not play last weekend, my boss, and they were at home. So that not only did they not play at all, not even they didn't have run under 23. Nobody not play for Arsenal last weekend. They were at home, my boss, and they were played off the park at the get-go. So not playing on the weekend don't help you, my boss.
So then, but Zidane, you can't say that Zidane.
No, man, that's overrated. No, man, displaying that injuries are part of the game, my boss.
Injuries are part of the
game. Injuries are part of it.
Zidane, you never win Champions League before, no, Zidane.
I'm saying to you, I don't believe that not playing on the weekend makes a difference. That's the difference between me and you, brother. After over 20 years, me I watch Champions League, my boss, and people play Saturday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
I know, my boss. But I'm talking about risk.
And I'm saying to you, for me, it will not make a major.
Oh, so it means go home anyway then.
Thank you. Whether them play 2 weeks before, PSG is going to beat the Arsenal on Wednesday.
All right. Well,
if Arsenal win, it's a minor miracle. Whether them rest them or not.
But Dembele out,
And they didn't play over the weekend. So them thing happen, my boss. Me now watch no injury and them can play over the weekend and all them foolishness, brother. I years me see man rest people. No, would have to win the first leg. But what I'm saying to you, I've seen many times where teams rest the weekend before the semi-final and the other team play go at full throttle and come back and win the game. Regular me see it happen. I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, fair enough then. Have a good day.
Yeah, man. We take our first break, Costa.
All right, just a reminder of the numbers before we go. 615-2841. 615-2841. You will be the person on the other end of the line when we come back.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
1:15.
Your Saturday afternoon has gotten better. Omega Radio Sports, 1 to 4 p.m. We give you updates, previews, reviews, and in-depth sports discussions. Our knowledgeable hosts and guests will have you glued to your radio with the latest sports topics and engaging conversations as we navigate the sporting landscape to keep you on top of things. That's Omega Radio Sports, Saturdays 1 to 4 p.m. Don't miss it.
Tell a friend, call a friend, tell everybody.
Omega Radio Sports is sponsored by Omega Radio Network. To sponsor this program, you can contact us at
876-204-9356.
You're listening to Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk.
Six 615-2841. Is the 676-6968 still going? So you could try any of those, but my advice is to try 876-615-2841. 615-2841. Those are your numbers.
You ready, Asta? Or talk to us, Asta. I can't see it. All right, no. All right, so NBA people, anybody's calling to talking about the Golden State Warriors finding their way to get past the Houston Rockets, having led 3-1. It appeared that the people with that sort of thing will like that sort of thing. Not me. They would blame Steph Curry pretty much. And I hear says Steph Curry lose a 3-1 lead twice, and it did this all kind of thing to him legacy. But that wasn't to be the case, and they eventually. But Hill was absolutely spectacular in the second quarter, and I think that's the main reason, without a doubt, why the Golden State won last year, because it was really a tussle. Both teams struggling in the half court to score, but in the end, Buddy Hield made a difference, and the Houston Rockets will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. And without a doubt, but looking at, because we have something to work with now, we're not going in blind now in terms of playoffs performance. So right away, based on what I've seen from both teams in their series, I think it's an easy call that the Minnesota Timberwolves should win this series in at least 6 games. So that is that. So it's going to be another tough series, another series where it's going to be very physical for Steph Curry. And it's going to be a younger team, more athletic team, and a team that even is a better team with more experience. Because remember, Timberwolves went all the way to the Western Conference final last year, so they had that run. Yeah, they struggled in the against the local team now, but I don't think they are facing something similar to what they faced last year in Lucas. So I think the Minnesota Timberwolves definitely, if they don't beat up the Golden State Warriors, would miss out on a chance to get to the NBA Finals, because I liking what I'm seeing from them, so I think they should eventually beat the Houston Rockets. Indeed, the East is pretty much easier to call. I know the Indiana Pacers won the first game last night. I didn't realize that Garland was not going to be playing yesterday evening, but the Cleveland Cavaliers was without him and they lost that game. Not their same normal great defense that we saw on display earlier season. I think they gave up too much points, and I thought that was a bigger issue than missing Darius Garland. So they are down 1 into the Indiana Pacers. I had that series 4-1. It may be 4-2 now in favor of the Cavaliers, because I still think they're going to be the favorites to win that series. All right, we'll go back online. Hello.
Yeah, man. Hello, afternoon. How do you do?
Good afternoon. This is Badger the Great.
Yeah, but
Wagwan, man.
how do you do?
Yeah, man. This argument about people born with sporting talent. Keep it a sporting talent, brother. You understand? Keep it a sporting talent. Because me not like when you go over a doctor and lawyer in Indian and chief and everything there. You understand? And if we keep it a sporting talent, I can agree with you that I don't even think that God likes sports. 90. Yeah. I don't even think that God even believes in sports. 90. You understand?
He does business or he doesn't like. Which are the two?
No business and sports, brother. Because once we can accept that you can pray for in a sports and say, God give me a victory and all and something there. I mean, the things say God even watch sports. I'm a dog. I think God said I watch your World Cup. God know who I go win already. You know, when I watch that. Man, nobody born with a sporting talent, man. People born with things that can help them in their life, brother. You understand? And full stop. I'm out saying, stop asking football question about and the statement about doctor have to go learn also. Because who teach the first doctor? And no teach the first doctor, I won't say them. You understand? That no people start to teach the next doctor. So if somebody born with something that them use them brain, brother, and become a doctor, brother. The first man who do it, brother. Anyway,
so he was born to do it?
I don't know what he was born to do, but him use him brain and become a first doctor. That's why I say keep it to sports, brother. When you keep it to sports, brother.
No, man,
right.
I disagree with you, man.
Well, fine.
I think
fine,
the man can
fine.
use anything. Man can use lawyer, judge, anybody. You have a great lawyer, you have a brilliant judge.
Brother, nobody don't teach you first doctor, brother.
You have a brilliant administrator.
Nobody don't teach you first doctor, King.
Yeah, but...
So most of them say somebody have to teach them to be a doctor. So who teach you first doctor, Zidane?
But my thing is you can learn without being taught.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So who teach you?
Yeah, but you're nitpicking the boss. You know,
Yeah. That's why I say leave to sports.
No, man, he doesn't have to, because me agree with him.
All right.
In everything, in every profession, my boss, you have to either be taught or you have to learn, my boss. You don't born to be any lawyer, my boss. You don't born to be any doctor.
No.
When you come out of the womb, my boss, we don't know if you're going to be doctor or not. You're not a doctor talent.
Is human being, so hold on.
The man not saying nothing wrong about you, man. You're barking up the wrong tree, my boss. Is the man that try the foolishness for bramble out and stop bramble out, won't see them.
Hold on, you have singing talent?
Huh?
You're born with singing talent? You're born with singing talent?
Singing?
Yeah, singing.
No, you still have,
singing.
yes, when you start him, still have to practice, my boss. And train. And people tell him, say, no. People have to tell him, say, no, you have to do your voice like this.
Yeah.
You know, they go to voice training and everything. Boss, I don't know what I'm saying to you. Nobody no ban for do nothing, brother.
Brother. All right. So somebody can teach you to sing?
But you can learn.
Somebody can teach you to use it.
I'm not debating teaching versus learning, my boss. That's not the discussion.
And I'm saying to your brother, Maria Carey born and she can sing. And nobody have to teach her to sing.
All right. All right.
What I'm saying to you is this, right? This latest saga with the JFF against the JFF. You understand?
What saga is that?
The JFF, the speed saga and the JFF and stuff, right? The JFF make a ruling on a team for something. For the team can use some players, right? And then somebody from the JFF hierarchy, and one little man don't go there, somebody from the JFF who operates a team put up a challenge against the JFF and said the JFF must investigate the thing that the JFF do.
You didn't put up a challenge against the JFF, or they didn't put up a challenge against the JFF?
No. Speed. Without speed, we operate a team.
They alerted the department in the JFF that is responsible for those sort of things, that there could be a breach. Yes.
There could be a breach.
Yes.
What we are talking about without speed, who have a high post in the JFF, you would say, right?
Yeah, but
some people will say a speed I run the JFF.
Yeah, but listen about you, man. We don't have to go on this now. If JFF was if Rudolph Speed was not associated with Cavalier Bars, and he realized that Mount Salem, Mount Pleasant is in breach, then he would have to alert the authorities who deal with that aspect of it regardless. So there's no conflict here.
Fine. No, I never said about no conflict, brother. So
there's no issue here.
Is this, right? So what I'm saying to you is this, right? You think that Speed would have known by getting information from the JFF.
but what I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter, because if he was only part of the JFF, my boss, and he picked up on the breach, then his job was to report the breach.
If he was not a part of the JFF, Zidane, and picked up on the breach, right? Fine, nobody would have done say it's because he's a part of the JFF, Zidane, and the fact that he's a part of the JFF, him do the right thing by saying, listen, I am part of the JFF. This team appears to be in breach of our rules. His job now is to point it out and highlight it, and they fix and they deal with it. He may do nothing wrong. All right.
Regardless of him being a part of JFF or not.
Now, what I want to ask you, Bajo, what should Rudolph have done if him think there was a breach? Yeah, Speed.
Him could have passed on to somebody else.
That is what he did. He might give information to the JFF.
And write him right.
No. Him could have give a different club to bring it out.
Why not his club?
Because he's a part of the JFF.
let me ask you another question.
Hold on.
No, I don't.
Listen to this. Hold on. Listen to this now.
But let me
Right.
hold on. Let me ask you. When Rudolph Speed feels that the scheduling is cramped, that when him play the Caribbean competition, him have too many games in too many days, and him say, boy, the competition committee space out some game.
Oh, we're gonna stop. Me never hear that. So me don't know. So
You never hear that. You never hear Speed.
No.
Well, me hear. Well, me hear that.
So
Me hear that.
Nobody ask me.
Should he
I
complain?
don't this and that. What I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. Okay? What I'm saying to you is this now, right? So somebody from the JFF that Speed is a part of, would that person be in trouble?
I don't understand
the person who make if there's a breach, the person who sign off on the breach, the person who allow the breach, the person who in charge of that aspect of the JFF. Do you think that person should have still have them job?
Well, as it turned out, there was no breach, or the competitions committee said the breach. They were satisfied that Mount Pleasant did all that they could do, and by extension, whoever in the JFF that signed up, because Mount Pleasant will not be sanctioned.
So it must do about nothing then.
Well, that's how it's turning out. But at the time,
Right.
Cavalier felt that there was something to be looked at.
So Speed now bring up something against the JFF that turned out to be much against to do about nothing. So Speed bring up something against his boss and the company that he's part of without doing his due diligence to say it's much to do about nothing. I don't know if I said something wrong with that.
But the man felt that there was a breach.
It's like hold on there. So if Speed said that there's a breach, Speed couldn't talk to them, being a part of them. I said, listen, all this way. And they said, no, Speedy man, and I'm not no man. Speed said, blah, blah, blah. That's bring to the public.
It's not his call to determine if there was a breach.
Officially, you know.
I know. So what I'm saying, I'm talking about somebody who's a part of a company. And you have to tell me, say, if him thinks something not right as well, him put no in a meeting, hold on, this is not what the meeting is all about. But me say something turn up. Say the person.
I don't even know what the issue you have is. I'm struggling to get what. Yeah.
The issue, I am saying to you that I think Speed should. If I was the JFF president, I would not trust Speed.
But the Mount Pleasant is not the JFF badge.
No, I know, but what
so the JFF did nothing wrong.
Speed we're too. Well, I know. Speed we're too hot, Zidane. Speed we're too hot.
You're suggesting
Speed,
that.
Well, I know. Speed we're too hot. Speed is part of the JFF hierarchy, right? And Speed is part of Cavalier. You understand? And I'm saying to you, when you come out to the JFF aspect of Rudolph Speed, if I were the president, I would not trust Speed.
All right.
Because if I did something else to damage us as the JFF, that we make a mistake on. Me I think say a same way Speed that I run to the public say, look what happened. Speed is a part of us.
All right. You know how hard Speed work for help get Mr. Ricketts re-elected.
Yeah, but maybe Speed want him job now.
No man, then Mr. Ricketts.
Mr. Ricketts show the public say. So Speed show the public say.
Mr. Ricketts make the total time.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm saying Mr. Ricketts has already indicated that he is unlikely to run for the next election.
Okay.
So Speed can't want your job when there will be no job.
Mr. Ricketts can say that no until them say stay back man or whatever man. You understand? And Speed is probably hear that now. So Speed push up man says see it there. I am qualified for the job coming and me no job no catch or whatever. And I'm saying no, brother.
So you're saying all that Speed is doing is trying to make Mr. Ricketts look bad and putting up himself for president.
I'm still above topper.
What?
Yeah, man.
Badger.
Mount Pleasant coach.
Why Badger? Pick up yourself.
Man, that's not respect.
Strange view, my boss. Strange position too.
No problem.
Very strange.
I don't think it's.
Him carry topper go down Tivoli the Gardens, right? And I see him feel, and he can kind of go anywhere. He can go Tivoli the Gardens and beat them. You understand? Yeah, him could kind of go anywhere, but him can go Tivoli the Gardens and beat them, right? And then no, brother, him are the first one. See something
I'm both my more pleasant and say, see it there?
All right. You see your first theory that he wants to show brickets?
Yeah.
Not on. You see your second theory that there's something against Mount Pleasant?
Yeah.
I will say, I'll leave it
Oh, God. Have a wonderful day, sir.
We'll take the break.
Well, he didn't say Mount Pleasant. He said Tapper.
I'll Tapper.
Well, it doesn't matter who is the coach. I think they would have still made the thing public. So I don't think it's a Tapper thing.
We'll take the break.
Big up yourself for coming back.
What if you could protect your child from cancer? The human papillomavirus, or HPV, causes cervical and other cancers. But one simple vaccine today can help prevent cancer later. The HPV vaccine is safe and effective and offers protection against cancers caused by HPV infection. The vaccine is now available for boys and girls 9 to 14 years old and adolescent girls 15 to 17 and women up to 26. HPV vaccination is cancer prevention. Immunize to maximize your child's health. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
It's now time for Sports in a Minute, sponsored by Edgechem, Western Sports, Megamart, Spectrum Insurance Brokers, D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited, and Fosrich.
Stephen Curry said the Golden State Warriors had to dig deep to beat the Houston Rockets 103-89 in the deciding game of their Western Conference first round of playoff series. The Warriors led the best-of-7 series 3-1 before the Rockets pulled level at 3-3 going into the final game in Houston. Curry scored 14 of his 22 points in the fourth quarter, while teammate Buddy Hield sank 9 3-pointers in his game-high, all of 33 points, as the pair helped the Warriors set up a Western Conference semifinal series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that's your Sports in a Minute.
Sports in a Minute was sponsored by Edgechem, changing lives 1 gallon at a time. Western Sports, the sports people. Megamart, best value by far. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standard. D'Angelo Auto Spares and Accessories Limited at 20 Balmoral Avenue, Kingston 10, and shop number 10, 1A Chapelton Road. Call 876-929-9146. And Fosrich.
Listen up, Jamaica. At Fosrich, everybody's getting a solar water heater. $20,000 deposit. 6 months to pay. What a deal. Fosrich financing.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services, including motor, property, liability, accident, life, and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5, or shop number 3, James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
You're listening to Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk.
All right, if we work with the Badger theory, or one of the Badger theories, if Cavalier had suspected another team of breaching, they wouldn't have gone to the competitions committee with it. Because we rule out same way I make my cricket look bad. I mean, that's clutching at some really fur straws. But Badger is saying a Mount Pleasant him have something with. The question is why? Or why would he still have a tapper? Because the decision to get some players, would that be Tapper's decision? Let's say there was a breach. Who would have committed that breach? Tapper Whitmore or the Mount Pleasant management? Anyway, we go back on that. Hello.
Blessings to the man.
Yes, sir. Who did?
Pioneer this one.
Oh, Pioneer. After.
Pioneer, you sound like you have the flu. You sound more
Yeah,
nasal
man,
than.
Yeah.
Under the weather,
Yeah, under the
under
weather,
the
man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trick me.
But gentlemen, with this situation, with this car, some basketball I really want that, but this Mount Pleasant situation, help me see if I understand it. Real hope from here to saying had some players. These players played early in the season, right?
Well, they played up until February, I'm gathering.
No, hold on, no. I don't want to get to the part yet where them play the game.
Oh, all right. They were signed in the January transfer window by
Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, but they were immediately loaned back to the team. So that's what I'm understanding. Or they were signed earlier on and loaned back immediately to
and how may I get information? It's not like they were loaned back. I understand that there were some issues with them getting the requisite documents to play for Mount Pleasant. I think some work permit or something, so they went back to Haiti.
Yeah, well.
And while they were there, knowing or unknowing to Mount Pleasant, they played for Real Hope.
Oh, but I'm not. Yes. So you're getting that information from the Mount Pleasant standpoint?
Yeah, we hear that from last week.
Okay.
So based on how me I hear it, the breach would have been the games that they played. They went back to play for Real Hope.
Yes, having been signed by Mount Pleasant.
Having been official. But then the part of the thing of my problem, JFF then, after that happened, JFF now would have issued them all the relevant documentation. Then, now they came now and played games in Mount Pleasant. Like, they would have been allowed to buy the documents issued by JFF.
Yeah, correct.
But then somebody within the JFF now wait until after the competition done because for them team now get into the automatic top 2. Then them raise off a red flag.
No. You're saying because them team not get into the top 2. No, you don't.
I am ascribing.
Yeah, but they could not have gotten to the top 2, regardless of what happened.
Yeah. Mount Pleasant.
Cavalier had no way of benefiting from what happened to Mount Pleasant.
Exactly.
Okay. I kind of find it a little bit. And because it come from someone within the walls of the JFF, I kind of find it a little bit. It's a little creepy for me. Want of a better.
It's either you breach or you don't breach in my boss, or it's not your fault. I don't understand all the creepy part of it comes in.
All right. If there was a breach, immediately upon a breach being picked up, I think they should have highlighted.
How do you know that they picked it up?
When the breach was picked up?
We hear some information. But we never.
No, sir, we don't follow rumors, man.
All right. You see, sometimes this is why people scream conflict of interest with certain things in the bush.
What's the conflict here?
No, I'm saying sometimes I said this is why people scream conflict of interest because the fact that it is coming from somebody within the walls of the JFF.
Yeah, but isn't it in the JFF best interest that you don't breach their competition rules and get away with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I say in a situation like this, I think it could have been discussed like instead of coming to the forefront. Come hear people all over the local media and make accusations against Mount Pleasant and them always a pie child. This and
but you realize that you think it's coincidence while this report came out after they've met Cavalier? You don't think I realize you see Cavalier see the players and maybe pick up on it then and say, what wait? You don't think so? Why couldn't it be that?
Maybe the quality of the players.
Maybe it's not even Road Speed who picked up on it. You know? Maybe I want a manager to say, listen, these players played for Real Hope the other day, you know. You understand? Maybe it's not even Speed.
Boy, I don't know.
There you go.
I'm gonna say it's the fact that it is coming from somebody affiliated with a club that is in the JFF. It kind of have a little.
Me not see no problem with it. Is either you breach a rule or not, my boss.
I'm not sure what. Me hear Badger and me hear Pioneer. I'm not sure what if Speed thinks that there's a team in the JPL that breached and Speed report to the competitions committee. Why would anybody have an issue with that?
Yeah.
I like how it looks. I like how Zidane, may I say a couple of things. So in your summations, yes, boy, I'm kind of agree with you in a way. You know, this Minnesota Timberwolves team, they are in terms of size, athleticism, their ability to defend. They are Houston Rockets like. Are in some departments even better than Houston Rockets.
Yes.
But in terms of scoring, they have dynamic scorers.
all over the park, the
Yes.
starting lineup plus
Yes.
coming off the bench.
Yes.
And one would assume that if Golden State had their struggles with, then their struggles with Minnesota should be even greater.
Mm-hmm.
Seven-game series
Yes.
last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Steph